In the dance of life, many of us seek the spotlight, trying to fit into roles and molds created by society. But true power, true magnetism, is found not in conformity, but in the quiet, unyielding force of authenticity. The Sigma female embodies this force, an enigma whose very presence challenges the status quo. She is neither a follower nor a leader in the traditional sense. She is her own person, fiercely independent, unapologetically herself. And yet, high-value men find themselves drawn to her, not because she fits into their world, but because she dares to exist outside of it. The question is, why are they captivated by her, but unable to truly handle her? The Sigma female operates on a level that others simply cannot understand. She doesn't follow societal expectations, nor does she strive to fit into preconceived molds of femininity or success. Instead, she navigates life on her own terms, creating an aura of mystery and intrigue that captivates those around her. There is power in ambiguity, a force that draws people in, making them wonder what lies beneath the surface. Imagine a figure like Jane Austen, who, in her time, was a woman whose works resonated deeply with readers, but whose personal life remained largely a mystery. In a world where women were expected to conform to certain roles, Austen existed in quiet rebellion, choosing to create her own narrative instead of living according to the scripts others wrote for her. The result? A timeless appeal that transcended generations, with a mystery surrounding her that only enhanced her significance. For the Sigma female, mystery isn't about being elusive for the sake of manipulation. It's about guarding a part of herself that cannot be contained or defined by the opinions of others. It's this sense of being other that draws high-value men in. They see in her not just a woman who stands out, but someone who stands alone, powerful in her self-sufficiency and enigmatic in her quiet confidence. In the world of high-value men, there's a certain kind of allure in the challenge of getting to know someone who doesn't immediately open up, someone who is not desperate for validation. This intrigue becomes a magnetic force, where the desire to understand her only deepens with time. But this very same enigma is what makes the Sigma female difficult to handle. She doesn't reveal all of herself in an easy-to-consume package. Instead, she forces those around her to confront the idea that some mysteries are meant to be appreciated from a distance, not solved. The Sigma female is a woman who defies expectations at every turn. Her independence and self-sufficiency create a unique dynamic in relationships, particularly with high-value men. These men, accustomed to leading, guiding, and shaping the relationships around them, find themselves in uncharted territory when faced with a woman who neither submits nor conforms. Instead, she stands firm in her beliefs and her identity, not out of rebellion, but from a place of self-assurance. This dynamic plays out like a dance, one that involves both desire and defiance. Desire is natural, an intrinsic human need to connect, to admire, and to be drawn to someone's uniqueness. High-value men find themselves intensely attracted to Sigma females because they exude a quiet strength, a confidence that is magnetic and undeniable. Yet, as they draw closer, they realize that this same strength creates a barrier. The Sigma female is not someone who can be easily influenced or swayed by external forces. She isn't looking for validation, and she isn't willing to compromise her sense of self just to accommodate someone else's desires. Take, for instance, the relationship dynamics between Simone de Beauvoir and Jean-Paul Sartre. Although they were intellectually and emotionally connected, de Beauvoir was fiercely independent. She wasn't willing to conform to the traditional roles that society expected of her, nor was she willing to play the passive partner in their relationship. Her defiance of societal norms became a central aspect of their dynamic, both creating deep admiration and tension between them. Sartre admired her intellect and strength, but it was clear that de Beauvoir couldn't be tamed or dominated, no matter how deep their connection ran. For high-value men, this presents both a challenge and an opportunity. They are drawn to the Sigma female's defiance because it challenges them to become more, to reflect on their own limitations, and to question their need for control. Yet, this very defiance can make them feel like they are navigating a complex, sometimes frustrating emotional terrain. The Sigma female doesn't need their approval, and that can be both liberating and intimidating. She is not a partner to be controlled, but a peer to be respected, a dance partner who leads with her own rhythm. There's a unique kind of vulnerability that arises when high-value men are faced with an equal, a person who not only understands their ambitions, but also mirrors them. High-value men are used to being at the top, driving their success with precision, ambition, and strategic vision. They excel in environments where their authority is unquestioned, and their drive leads the way. But when they encounter a Sigma female, they are confronted with someone who operates on the same level, someone who possesses the same drive, confidence, and self-determination. This dynamic creates an interesting tension. Sigma females are rarely intimidated, and they possess an unwavering belief in their own worth. This is not arrogance, but a deeply rooted sense of self that comes from years of self-awareness and growth. They don't seek validation from anyone, least of all from a high-value man, and that very confidence serves as a mirror. High-value men, accustomed to being admired and looked up to, are now faced with someone who holds her own, whose accomplishments and values parallel their own. Take the example of Amelia Earhart, the pioneering aviator who set records and shattered societal expectations. She did not wait for permission or validation from male counterparts to pursue her dreams. Earhart's ambition matched that of the most successful men of her time, yet she remained fiercely independent, guided by her own vision. Her confidence, while inspiring, also left many of her male counterparts unsure of how to engage with her as an equal. For high-value men, encountering this kind of equal can be unsettling. They are used to being the ones who push the boundaries, but when faced with a Sigma female, they see their own ambition reflected back at them. This reflection forces them to examine their own growth and motivations. No longer is the relationship about one person leading or guiding. It's about two individuals, each with their own aspirations and strengths, coming together as equals. This can be both empowering and uncomfortable for the high-value man, as he must confront the reality that he is no longer the only one who defines the rules of engagement. In this space of equality, respect becomes the foundation. High-value men who can embrace this challenge often find their relationships with Sigma females richer, deeper, and more rewarding. The mirror of ambition held by the Sigma female invites growth, self-reflection, and the recognition that real connection can only happen when both individuals stand as equals in their pursuit of greatness. The Sigma female's most defining trait is her independence, a quality so strong that it cannot be easily overshadowed. She's not someone who waits for life to happen to her. She actively shapes her own path, relying on no one but herself to achieve her goals. This self-sufficiency creates a magnetic pull, one that high-value men can't help but be drawn to. They see in her not only someone who is capable, but also someone whose power doesn't need to be validated by anyone else. Take Madam C.J. Walker, an African-American woman who became one of the first self-made millionaires in the United States through her own line of beauty and hair care products. She didn't rely on anyone's help to achieve her success. Rather, she built her empire from the ground up, overcoming immense obstacles along the way. Her story is a testament to the power of self-made ambition, and it's this kind of resolute independence that resonates deeply with high-value men. For these men, who are used to seeing women either needing guidance or seeking approval, the Sigma female is a revelation. She doesn't need rescuing, she doesn't need to be led, and she doesn't need validation. She's already whole. This independence presents a challenge. How does one engage with a woman who requires nothing from them except respect and mutual understanding? This is what makes the Sigma female so appealing, yet so difficult to handle. High-value men are drawn to her because she represents the epitome of strength, but their admiration often turns to confusion as they realize they cannot control or dominate her. In a world that often conditions women to seek out relationships for emotional security or financial support, the Sigma female rewrites the narrative. She is self-sufficient, yet not closed off. Her strength is not about detachment, but about owning her own story, her own ambitions. She doesn't need anyone else to complete her, but she welcomes those who can respect her autonomy and share her vision. High-value men are often used to controlling their environment. In their professional lives, they lead teams, shape decisions, and assert dominance to achieve their goals. This level of control often extends into their personal relationships, where they seek partners who fit within a familiar narrative, one in which they lead and guide. But the Sigma female doesn't operate within those conventional bounds. She creates her own rules, and she follows them with unwavering consistency. For high-value men, embracing a woman who defines her own rules is both exhilarating and perplexing. Unlike traditional women who may rely on their partner for direction or approval, the Sigma female is a law unto herself. She isn't someone who can be molded or reshaped according to another's desires. Instead, she establishes her boundaries, sets her own standards, and navigates life with a profound sense of self-sufficiency. Consider the example of Frida Kahlo, the legendary artist known for her fierce independence. Kahlo's life was marked by physical pain, emotional turmoil, and deep creativity, but she never allowed these challenges to define her in the conventional sense. She didn't adhere to the norms of the time for women in art, rejecting the passive roles often assigned to women in society. Instead, she defined herself as a revolutionary in both her art and her life, creating her own space where she could thrive authentically. For high-value men, this kind of independence is both a magnetic force and a challenge. They are drawn to it, admiring the strength and freedom it represents. However, they are also confronted with the fact that they cannot simply impose their will on the Sigma female. She won't compromise her identity for the sake of a relationship, nor will she submit to traditional gender roles or expectations. This can be a hard pill to swallow for men used to being in control, but there's wisdom in embracing this dynamic. The Sigma female offers something far more valuable than blind submission. She offers partnership on equal terms. For high-value men who can learn to respect her autonomy, the reward is the opportunity to be with a woman who challenges them, who doesn't just conform to their vision, but adds richness and depth to their world. She doesn't need them to define her. Instead, she invites them to walk beside her on equal footing in a relationship where respect and autonomy are paramount. The Sigma female is a paradox, an untamable force who inspires admiration, attracts attention, and challenges the very notion of control. She's fiercely authentic, living her life in accordance with her own values and beliefs. This authenticity is what makes her both magnetic and elusive, a combination that high-value men find both deeply alluring and difficult to handle. Admiration for the Sigma female runs deep. High-value men are drawn to her strength, her independence, and her unwavering sense of self. They admire her ability to carve out her own path, often in defiance of the norms and expectations that society places on women. Her authenticity resonates with their own desire for self-mastery and autonomy. In a world where appearances and status are often prioritized, the Sigma female stands apart, true to herself, without the need for external validation. This is a woman who is unapologetically authentic, and that quality can be irresistible. However, this admiration often comes with a price. The Sigma female is not someone who can be easily won over or manipulated. She doesn't seek to be understood on anyone else's terms, nor does she bend to anyone's will. In many ways, she is untamable, and it's this untamability that creates tension. High-value men, who are accustomed to influencing the outcomes of their relationships, quickly realize that they cannot control or shape the Sigma female to fit their ideal. Her authenticity cannot be compromised, and her independence cannot be subdued. This creates a paradox for the high-value man. He is drawn to the Sigma female because of her strength and authenticity, yet he finds it difficult to reconcile this with his own desire to maintain control. The admiration he feels for her independence is often met with a realization that his own pursuit of control may be counterproductive. The price of authenticity is that it requires vulnerability, both for the Sigma female and for those who seek to engage with her. The high-value man must be willing to accept her on her own terms, or risk losing the very thing that initially attracted him, her independence. For the Sigma female, the paradox is clear. She is not here to be tamed or controlled. She is here to walk her own path, unapologetically and authentically. And for those who are willing to appreciate her for what she truly is, without attempting to change her, the reward is a connection that is based on mutual respect, equality, and a shared understanding of authenticity. In the dance between high-value men and Sigma females, there lies a deeper lesson: the value of self-awareness, respect, and mutual growth. The Sigma female, with her fierce independence, enigmatic allure, and unwavering authenticity, challenges those who come into her orbit to re-evaluate their own beliefs, boundaries, and desires. She isn't a woman to be understood in simple terms. Instead, she encourages those around her to dive deeper into their own introspection and confront their own desires for control, validation, and dominance. For high-value men, the challenge is profound. They are drawn to her strength, her unshakable sense of self, and her refusal to conform to the expectations of others. Yet, this attraction often leads them to a crossroads, where their desire to possess or control meets the reality that the Sigma female cannot be tamed or reshaped. The true test comes not in winning her approval, but in learning how to respect her autonomy and match her in ambition, strength, and wisdom. The relationship between a Sigma female and a high-value man is not about one partner leading the other, but about mutual respect, admiration, and the understanding that both individuals have the power to shape their own destinies. When both are able to let go of the need for control and embrace each other as equals, a deeper connection can emerge, one based not on dominance or submission, but on collaboration, shared values, and a commitment to personal growth. So, to all those drawn to the Sigma female, Take a moment to reflect. Understand that she is not a challenge to be conquered, but a partner to be respected and admired. The true reward lies not in taming her, but in recognizing the untapped potential for growth within yourself when you learn to navigate the complexities of a relationship founded on mutual respect and shared strength. Embrace the journey of self-awareness and growth, and you will find the path to a deeper, more meaningful connection. If you found this content valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more transformative insights. Together, we can continue to grow, learn, and break through the boundaries that limit our potential.